Unfortuitous joined the game. Unfortuitous says oi. SFH9WU says I had to remember how to talk. Unfortuitous says LOL. Unfortuitous says I'm a bit laggy but it's fine. Finished Mount Enchanting room. Not sure what to do next, might make a nether portal room. SFH9WU says did the enchant room end up underwater? Unfortuitous says technically. SFH9WU says I can't remember which direction I went. SFH9WU says but I'm still just off of one of TEH roads. I built a little bamboo hut. Unfortuitous says nice. SFH9WU says I'll come your direction in a minute. Unfortuitous says where at? SFH9WU says home. Minus 1011, 15, 232. Unfortuitous says that's not that far. SFH9WU says yeah, only a little way from the crossroads /Poon Mountain etc. The server has hidden your message for some players. SFH9WU says I dunno if that got through filter XD. Unfortuitous says there's a filter. SFH9WU says I think because I said my dog's name. Unfortuitous says LOL. SFH9WU says in reference to the mountain I took you to, my little camp on the mountain, and the course roads of TEH main for highways nearby. I'm not too far from there. Unfortuitous says I'll be honest it's a miracle I found my way home from there. I had no idea where I was. Unfortuitous says I need to fish more levels for more enchanting. SFH9WU says XD. Unfortuitous says I literally have no idea where you are from me unless I follow Oscar's road. SFH9WU says I'm on my way, I'll bring you on another your XD. SFH9WU says prob better if we had pack mules for TEH journey, but meh. Unfortuitous says I'm at minus 35. 1400. I've never had a mule. SFH9WU says I brought you one, then borrowed and subsequently lost it. Unfortuitous says I fill my pockets and hoof it. Unfortuitous says if you give me a pack mule it will just end up living in my house. SFH9WU says for safekeeping. Unfortuitous says I don't like those sinister quotations. SFH9WU says LOL, just they wander off and get lost, unless tied up. SFH9 Wii says so if not directly in use then they just end up locked in a bedroom somewhere. Unfortuitous Sash says Rithrit, I want to fill my property with pets eventually. Unfortuitous Sash says Rithri. SFH9 Wii says I think I'm on the second last, mostly straight stretch towards you, so TEH compass blob should grow. Unfortuitous Sash says I mentioned the compass dot them immediately forgot about the compass dot. Unfortuitous Sash says imagine having narration on in a full server. What a nightmare. SFH9 Wii says oh wow lol yeah. SFH9 Wii says okay on the home stretch now. Unfortuitous Sash says nice. Unfortuitous Sash says one of my cats just ripped a wicked stinky fart. SFH9 Wii says XDXDXDXDDX. Unfortuitous Sash says she said that so politely. SFH9 Wii says Smokechik Chato is valid. SFH9 Wii says also hydrate chat. Unfortuitous Sash says Smokechik Chato farted. SFH9 Wii says a little more British would be nice farthead. Unfortuitous Sash says that actually worked. SFH9 Wii says shout out Shanakran Kaipants. SFH9 Wii says Unfortuitous Sash says almost. SFH9 Wii says forgive the narrator, she's a little drunk, the server has hidden your message for some players. Unfortuitous Sash says lol. SFH9 Wii says Unfortuitous Sash says, pig oinks. SFH9 Wii says, duck oinks. Unfortuitous Sash says oink. SFH9 Wii says oinker. Unfortuitous Sash says you're here. SFH9 Wii says I love the lamp posts. Unfortuitous Sash says thanks. SFH9 Wii says the fuck happened to your head, sir and or mom. Unfortuitous Sash says you not froggin. SFH9 Wii says these or TEH posts in a pic on Discord and LKED them. SFH9 Wii says you remind me of that gay frog couple, with the old sad frog. I dig the googly eyes. Unfortuitous Sash says that's me. SFH9 Wii says frog and toad or something I think it was called. Unfortuitous Sash says my underwater enchanter in my house. SFH9 Wii says as a straighty it felt very gay coded, but like British gay or something. Unfortuitous Sash says oh man blast from the past. SFH9 Wii says is it just the shaders tart makes that really pretty blue glow. SFH9 Wii says effect used perfectly. Shaders reloaded. Unfortuitous Sash says yeah. Unfortuitous Sash says it looked a lot better in my head but I'll take it lol, I suck at building. SFH9 Wii says the bookshelves like, magnify the enchanting or smithing. SFH9 Wii says Oscar explained it to me, but I didn't really listen I think. Unfortuitous Sash says yeah, I don't remember the maximum needed but I put up a lot to be safe. Unfortuitous Ash says oh eclipse tonight. SFH9 Wii says lololol I read your eclipse mezgay and looked at the sky in game by instinct. Unfortuitous Ash says I meant in game. SFH9 Wii says oh sit. SFH9 Wii says I've never seen this XD. Unfortuitous Ash says it's the shader pack, I believe. SFH9 Wii says and a whale thing. SFH9 Wii says quid. SFH9 Wii says do you need more pale oaks? Unfortuitous Ash says no thanks, I think I have my saplings in a chest. I'm not sure where I wanna start planting cause I heard it spawns a hostile mob. SFH9 Wii says yeah lol. SFH9 Wii says Fra told me to be careful of the forest, maybe at night, but I, again, didn't really listen. So I just have a vague ignorant fear of the trees in general XD. Unfortuitous Ash says lol. SFH9 Wii says smoke chick chato valid. SFH9 Wii says is there a macaroni in our future? SFH9 Wii says you wanna come see my sneaky new little joint. Can gather some, rare materials en route etc. Unfortuitous Ash says yes. SFH9 Wii says no rush, just let me know when ready 07. I sit under tree for a few minutes to grind weed XD. Unfortuitous Ash says let me sleep then I'm ready. SFH9 Wii says 07 too easy. Unfortuitous Ash says I'm ready. SFH9 Wii says sorry just had to let dog out 07. Unfortuitous Ash says armored froge. Unfortuitous Ash says I've never used maps. SFH9 Wii says is fun. Unfortuitous Ash says when I played back in the day I don't think maps were in the game yet. SFH9 Wii says Oscar taught me, sorta but I didn't listen. SFH9 Wii says we're doing a Hobbit trek FR. Unfortuitous Ash says good thing I brought potatoes. SFH9 Wii says nice. Diddly dee. Unfortuitous Ash says into Mordor. Unfortuitous Ash has made the advancement, we need to go deeper. SFH9 Wii U says PN Mountain. Respawn point set. SFH9 Wii U says up here there's a bit where the path is interrupted from TEH Eiffel Tower construction, but if you keep on track you find the other end where it was broken. Unfortunate Sash says I ended up here in my boat accidentally once. SFH9 Wii U says I think I saw TEH screenshots XD. SFH9 Wii U says we won't go down there now. Unfortunate Sash says yeah. SFH9 Wii U says but there's a checkerboard, and the thing in the air is TEH machine, that drops TNT. SFH9 Wii U says somehow it's harder to find the path coming back, looks easy from this end, but I mention it because you will get lost XD. Unfortunate Sash says you'll get lost anyways. SFH9 Wii U says XD. Unfortunate Sash says 1 sec. SFH9 Wii U says 1 sec. Unfortunate Sash says sorry my first dark oak saplings. SFH9 Wii U says all good. SFH9 Wii U says I just finished grind and had a Billy 07. SFH9 Wii U says oops. Unfortuitous Ash says lol. Respawn point set. SFH9 Wii U says this is it, for now. SFH9 Wii U says but downstairs there's potential that I'm carving out. Unfortuitous Ash says onk. Unfortuitous Ash says can I take a few glowberries? SFH9 Wii U says go for it. SFH9 Wii U says from here is minor danger. SFH9 Wii U was shot by skeleton. SFH9 Wii U says there is bed here, you should retreat if Ned. SFH9 Wii U says I had nothing too valuable, you can keep if picked up. Unfortuitous Ash says I see what you mean about not safe though. SFH9 Wii U says but yeah I have some vague plans, was gonna use glass and polished stone etc down here. Unfortuitous Ash says nice. Unfortuitous Ash says this is a great spot. SFH9 Wii U says I actually haven't explored far, but directly around is some cool resources. SFH9 Wii U says and it seemed like a nice place for a rest spot, Traveler's Camp. SFH9 Wii U was shot by skeleton. Unfortuitous Ash says I was thinking about tunneling like 5k blocks in the nether then making a base wherever it spits me out, says onk. SFH9 Wii U says Fekra. SFH9 Wii U says creeper blew up the pretty bamboo grove FFS. Unfortuitous Ash says it's fixable. SFH9 Wii U says good as new. Unfortuitous Ash says this is a massive gravel slab. SFH9 Wii U says eventually I will abandon this spot, like all others, and leave it to tell its own story etc. Unfortuitous Ash says Infinite Flint. SFH9 Wii U says dig it if you want XD. SFH9 Wii U says let's see what's further down road, I forget. Unfortuitous Ash says I'm littering in this beautiful lagoon. SFH9 Wii U says build this and put it here for aesthetic. SFH9 Wii U says we can use. Unfortuitous Ash says now I really feel like Frog and Toad. SFH9 Wii U says XD XD XD. SFH9 Wii U says I guess I am Toad.